Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. Excited to be back here again this week. Obviously, it's game week now, and guys have been working hard. Guys are on campus going to class and come back over here getting football work. I mean, guys are ready to get going. Any questions?
Clayton asked Shane this yesterday, but you got a lot of true freshmen who will probably play on Saturday. As a coach, does that make you a little nervous to know that a couple of rookies are going out there?
Well, you could say nervous. I mean, to be honest, yes. And not nervous, the fact that they're going to go out there and do the wrong thing. Just, nervous for them just because, I played my first college game before. I know what it's like. The butterflies are a little bit more enormous than the first, for the very first time. And I'm excited for those guys as well to go out there and perform and showcase their skills. No, sir. I was on campus. I did not make it out there.
What are some of the reasons you're optimistic about what your unit's going to be this year? I guess your safeties are probably towards the top of that list, but what are some of the other things maybe that have you optimistic?
Really, the off season that our guys had, just how they, and we took a lot of time this off season learning from the good and the bad from the past 2 seasons and really diving deep into some tape because this is, most of the team was back. We can talk big picture with the defense now. So those are the mental reasons. Then physically, our guys put in a ton of work with Coach Day and the strength staff and the nutrition staff and just changing their bodies and their mindset. And once again, Coach Beamer does a great job of just putting us in the right mindset of this program.
Clayton, staying with those freshmen, and I'm sure you've heard the quote from Mike Tyson, everyone's got a game plan until you get punched in the face. With these freshmen in particular, and even the underclassmen like a Stone Blanton, how do you prepare them the best they can, knowing that there's probably going to be a time or two where you're going to have to make adjustments so you don't lose them this early on in the season as they continue to build that confidence up?
Well, just how we practice at practice, that kind of helps us prepare for a high-intense situation. We do a lot of situations at practice, and I try my best to, pretend like I'm not there at practice. I coach them really hard in the meeting rooms, and I get to the practice field, I try to lead them on the island by themselves. And so that's how you learn. Like, you just can't – I don't want Saturday to be the first time that they realize that I'm not there because once they cross the line and get past the numbers, I mean, they can't hear me so I try to train them that way so it make it easier for them in the games.
Clayton, obviously you went against Chip Lindsey's offense 2 years ago when he was at Troy, obviously at North Carolina now. What are some characteristics of the offense he likes to run, and how much of a challenge does that present you guys this week?
Yeah, he's definitely a well-respected coordinator in his tenure as a coach. I think that he's one of the top names that you would consider, even as an offensive coordinator, one of the best ones. But his challenge presents is just to run RPO action and the spread, and he does a great job, I think, of spreading you out and also getting dirty with the big guys, and he's always been well-respected.
North Carolina last year went for it on fourth down almost as much as any team in the country who's successful at that. Does that change your defensive scheme, your play calling, when you know the opponent's more likely to try to use 4 downs than 3?
It does. It really does. I mean, you got to hold some of your calls, and Coach Beamer does a great job of just staying in my ear on this is a possible go-for-it territory. So make sure you're playing coaching smart. And, I mean, obviously UNC has a big-time threat at quarterback who could probably – get most of the fourth downs.
At linebacker specifically, how's Moe doing just in terms of your confidence in his health and everything? And for Stone to get that sort of starting spot on the depth chart, what have you seen from him this offseason that's a step up from last year?
The offseason started, the night of the Notre Dame game, So he's changed a lot of things in his style of play and how he looks and just his body type. And unfortunately, while he's changing, Moe is still going through rehab. That's just life. But Moe is ready to play. Moe is definitely looking really good, and he looked really confident. He understands his knee. He understands the things he's been through in the past, and he's continuing every single day to fight. In my mind, Moe is also a starter. He's gonna, he's prepared like a starter. He plays like a starter. And he's definitely one of the best ones we have. But excited about Stone as well. Stone's put in the work, and he earned that spot.
The new NCAA clock rules, does that mean anything for you as a defensive coordinator, or is it affected anything y'all do as far as preparing this month and all that type of stuff?
Nah. It really doesn't, but I'm trying to remember what the clock rules were. I think it's going to be shorter games, but it really doesn't affect my day-to-day living. But once we got that Saturday, I may feel it, and then I can probably have a better answer for you, to be honest with you.
Two veteran guys in Boogie and Tonka up in the middle, but TJ and Nick right behind them. What have you seen from those two younger guys, and how confident are you in them to be able to take that next step this season?
Everyone's trying to take the next step, and definitely, they're led by TJ and Tonka, but I think Coach Robinson has really, just changed some things and just the everyday living of those guys, and I think that's for the better. I think that, just their mindset, just their athleticism and their ability to go more than 4 or 5 plays is going to be the big difference. But the main thing that I've seen from TJ and from Nick is just the dependability and accountability to do their job every single snap.
Going into a game, offensive coordinators obviously script the first 10 to 14 plays. When you're going against that and you're having to react to it, what are you paying attention to that the offensive coordinator is doing that you might have to adjust to during a game?
I had a dream on my first couple of calls last night too, but obviously I'm not going to say it. But so, the main thing is for us is to understand the adjustments within our defense, because we're going to get I don't know we don't know what formation we're ever going to get the first 15 plays. Offensive coaches over the past, since I've been coordinating, do a great job on those plays, and they work those plays today, they work them Friday, they work them Saturday morning, then they go out and run them. So our job is to play our rules, read our keys, play with the right leverages, play in our gap, and understand, and then get a feel for what's going on, and then adjust from there. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.